Hey guys, in the previous video, I was comparing the performance of an application when you have gRPC versus REST-based implementations for inter-microservices communication. If you have not watched, please check that out. Link in the description box below. Here, I would like to do similar comparison. Instead of gRPC, I would like to use NATS for inter-microservices communication. NATS is a cloud-native, lightweight, super fast messaging server. The functionality is same, guys. Just to quickly explain, we have a client that will be sending some number to our aggregator. It basically means the client wants, if the client sends 1000, it wants all the squares from 1 to 1000 up to 1000. Okay, so that's what it means. 1 is 1, 2 is 4, 3 is 9, something like this. Okay, so that will be sending that number to aggregator. Our aggregator does not know how to calculate this. It relies on the backend servers. So we have two different implementations. One is RESTful, the other one is like NATS. Okay, so these services know how to calculate, but they can do for only one number at a time. So in order to build this response, our aggregator has to send multiple requests. So in this case, it has to send 1000 requests to the backend service to build this response. I am just making this a procurement to have an app with the tons of network calls, okay, so that we can compare the performance. Aggregator will choose one of the backends based on the URI. Okay, if I say REST here, it will choose the REST backend. If I say NATS, it will choose the NATS backend. Okay, so we have three services: one aggregator, one REST, one NATS. If you see here, aggregator directly talks to REST backend. Okay, when you choose REST, but when you go for NATS, first it has to. You also need a messaging server. Okay, so the aggregator will post a message in the messaging queue. This guy will be delivering to this service, get the response, and then this guy will be delivering back to aggregator service. So if for 1000, it has to do this 1000 times. Okay, so it will be posting 1, 2, 3, everything, all the number up to 1000. This guy will be delivering here, get the response for the corresponding number, then this guy will be delivering back to aggregator service. Okay, so it kind of looks like an extra layer which could affect the performance, but let's see how it works. I have already Dockerized all these applications, guys, so they are all up and running now. So if you are curious how the response will look like, is basically this how it will be. I am setting a request localhost 8080 REST for the, I am choosing the REST backend. I am setting the number 1000. I am setting just one request, so I will be getting a response like this. Okay, the aggregator will be giving me all the squares from 1 till 1000. Okay, so all the squares, it will be giving me response like this. Okay, so now what we are planning to do is, I am planning to run a simple a load test. Okay, so basically I am planning to send 1000 requests to the aggregator service. Okay, the n is 1000 means number of requests 1000. We are sending 1000 this request. Okay, so for each and every request will be calculating the square from 1 to 1000. Okay, so we are sending 1000 requests like this, and C100 means we are simulating 100 concurrent user load. Okay, so that's what we are doing. First, I'm choosing the REST backend. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter now. I have already done this test a few times, guys, so we are doing this test on a warmed up server. Okay, so if you see, it takes some time. So far it has completed only 1000 requests, so it will take some time, so I might be fast forward. We are almost there, guys. Okay, so the test is done, and the test took 61 seconds. Okay, so on the throughput is 16.37. So it was able to complete 16 requests per second. Okay, when you send 1000 requests. So if you see the response time, the median is 6 seconds, and the maximum response time goes up to 6.4 seconds. So basically, it means that more than 50% of the users, when you have hundreds of concurrent users, more than 50% of the users were experiencing 6 seconds response time. That's what it means. Okay, now let's do the same test, similar test with NATS backend. Okay, so N is 1000, C is 100, but instead of REST, I am going with NATS. So let's hit enter and see. If you see, I don't think that I have to fast forward. Okay, so it's already very fast. So okay, the whole test took only 5 seconds to complete. Okay, and the throughput, it goes up to 198.65. This is terrific, guys, terrific. Okay, if you see the response time, right? So see, even the longest request is 0.6. okay, or max it goes up to like 0.7 seconds. That's it. Okay, basically means almost everybody were experiencing like less than 1 second response time. It's so fast, right? How come NATS is faster when you have something in between, an extra layer? See guys, now if you take the REST service, right, this is HTTP which works on top of TCP. In order to send the request and get the response, you need to make a three-way handshake to establish a reliable TCP connection. Then you will be sending the request and getting the response. HTTP is text one, the request and response. So our payload is very small in our case, but still it might also contribute. Okay, but for NATS, this is a persistent TCP connection and binary payload. Okay, NATS itself is super fast in delivering the messages. Okay, so it all kind of contributes and to have this super fast throughput and performance.